Hey everyone, it's Pam from GlamJunkJournals and welcome back. I am continuing on in my series From Inspiration to Junk Journal. This is series number 2 and this is part 2. And if you recall from the last video, the inspirational piece for this next journal that I'm doing is this cute little apron. Oh, it's so cute. I've got so many ideas on how I'm going to use this, and we'll probably do that in some upcoming videos. But today we are going to continue on with the master board that we created in the previous video. Now, I was thinking after I finished that video, well, why didn't you put some additional embellishments on this and sew around the edges and, you know, do all that kind of stuff? But then I thought, I know why, because we're going to cut this up, use it for some different things, and then add our embellishments onto it. And that's just how I am going to use this master board. And one thing that I wanted to call your attention to, and this is something that, trust me, I forget to do a lot of times, is once you have your master board, make some copies of it or scan it in so that you have it in the future. That is awesome to have. And let me show you what I did. I did make some copies of this particular master board, and I did it on 3 different types of paper. The first one is vellum. Is that like the coolest thing ever? Oh my gosh, I love this. So vellum, that's a great way to print, you know what I'm trying to say, print your master board on some vellum. Sheesh, get with the program here. This one is printed on a coffee dyed piece of copy paper. Isn't that pretty? It just gives it a more vintagey look, that distressed look. And then here is the same thing printed on just a white piece of copy paper. So granted, you can print it on anything. You could print it on cardstock. You could print it on fabric. That's really cool. Oh, I might have to do that another time. But okay, so just an idea just to keep these, and we're going to do something with these in a later video, or maybe today, I don't know. But specifically for today, what I would like to do is cut this up and make a, what am I going to call this? It's a 3-page journal insert or a 3-page fold out. Now, I was inspired by the Creative Cove, and she did an insert that was just adorable. So this is going to be my take on it. It's a little bit different, and so we're going to get right into it. But first off, I did want to say thank you to some of my wonderful subscribers and my comments that you guys keep sending my way, and I love them. Thank you to Laura C., and she consistently comments on my videos and just gives me so much support. I just thank you so much. And a couple other ones, So in Love, isn't that a cute name? Love that. And Gypsy and Old Romance. You guys know who you are. I love the names of your YouTube handles, and thank you all so much. I appreciate your comments, and your support means the world to me. So, with that being said, let's get right into this. Now, the current journal that I am creating has, as you know, the purples and the yellows and all that kind of stuff. It's going to be less, how do I want to say this? Still vintagey, still distressed, but less grungy as my previous 2 journals where I folded all the papers off center and that kind of stuff. So this is going to be more of a traditional style, I guess. This is one of the signatures, and let me tell you what it measures here. It is about 5.5 across and 8.5 down. So that's what I'm going to be going with, those measurements for what we're going to create today. So let me move this out of the way. I'm sure I'll refer back to it. And we are going to cut this down and make something very cool. So this particular masterboard is 15 inches, I don't know if you want to say long or across. Well, I guess across would be the way I look at it. So it's 15 inches and this is 10 inches. So it's a 10 by 15. And that, if you remember, was the dimensions of this sheet of wallpaper. And I did the wallpaper on the back side for a specific purpose, and you'll see where we're going with that. So let's cut this down to be a little smaller than my 5.5 by 8.5. So let me see what we got going here. Do you guys always start on a specific side? I do, and I don't know why. I start on the right side. I don't know, I just do. So let me get out my little marker here, my little pen. And so like I said, the journal size was 8.5. I'm gonna do this a little bit shorter than 8. So maybe 7 3/4. And I am going to get that into my cutter, but wait, I'm not going to do that yet. Hold on, because we are going to cut this into separate panels. So the first one is going to be, we're going to do 3 of them. And what I say, it was 5.5. So we're going to make this a little bit less than 5.5. We're going to do 5 right there. So I'm going to mark it there and do another mark right here at 5. And then hopefully we're going to have one a little bit longer than 5. And that's good because I am going to do something special with that last panel. So let's get this out and do some cutting here. Mark this right at, cut it right at the 5, all the way down. There's 1. Did I get that straight? I don't know. Even with excuse me, my cutting ruler here, sometimes it doesn't come out exactly the way I want it, and I try to get it so it's even. Does that ever happen to you guys? Okay, so there's 2. And those are the same. And then the last one here is a little bit larger, as you can see. And that is going to be exactly the way I want it. So I'm going to cut off that little bit of extra right there. And if I had a bigger, you know, cutting mat or cutting ruler here, I could do this all at once, but I don't. And that's, you know, I could get out my guillotine cutter, but I don't have that right in front of me. All right, so we're going to cut this down. Make some more sheets, and these are not exactly even. Why is that? Tell me, tell me, tell me. All right, so I'm going to make this even. All right, so there's 1. And then we're going to use the same measurements for the next one. And I don't really, you know, I am not an exact measurer, as you guys can tell. I just kind of wing it, and I'm okay with that. And so all these cuties are going to be used too. Last one here. That one right across. Okay, we'll save these for later. All right. Okay, so we've got our 3 panels right here, right? And are they even? No. But that's okay because it doesn't really matter. So what you want to think about, because what's going to happen is this side's going to fold over and this side's going to fold over. So you have to think, okay, when this folds over, do you want this to be on both sides, meaning this is all going to be on one side, I guess is what I'm trying to say. And hopefully I'm making sense here. So I think what I'm going to do is I am going to flip those over just for some differences here. Whoops. And I'm going to put the thinner one on this side. So what we're going to do is we're going to create a hinge. And what I've done, as you guys remember, I pulled out, let me show you my stash, a bunch of different fabrics that are going to go, hopefully, in this journal. You know, I always do that in the beginning, is I pull out a bunch of fabrics and laces and all that kind of stuff that I think I might use. And I cut a strip here of this gorgeous Harlequin. Love that pattern. And it doesn't really matter the length. This is about 10 inches and it is about 1.5 wide. So what we're going to do is we're going to create little hinges. And your hinges don't need to be really long or, you know, really wide across here. So I am going to make mine approximately, let me see here. I don't know, how long do I want them? You can make them any length, really. Let me see here. I've got to move over here. I'm crowding myself. So maybe 1.5 inches. Let's cut these at 1.5 inches. Where's my scissors? So we're going to do maybe 2 inches. I changed my mind. 2 inches. We're going to cut these into 2-inch rectangles. So I'm going to do 1, 2, 3. Now, I don't know if I'm going to need more than 3. Now, if I do, I'll cut some more. So, all we're going to do is we're going to attach them. Now, when you attach all of these panels together, you want to leave a teeny weeny bit in between. So that's what I'm going to do right here. Oh yeah, and one thing I did want to make sure I do is have all my numbers. So if you have any, you know, things that you want to be face up, make sure they're all the same, because, I mean, it's not the end of the world if the numbers were upside down, or, you know, if you had some writing or something. So I am going to just eyeball this and put a little bit of Fabri-Tac on each side, leaving that little space in between. Like that. And then, I don't know, let me think about this here for a minute. Do I need 3 across or 2? That's a good question. I don't know. It kind of looks cool with 3. Maybe we'll do 3, just because I like it. So you can do as many as you want. I would at least do 2 though, because that'll keep your panels together. So there's 2. And you know, I am just eyeballing this. If you want to measure the distance between, you can certainly do that. Come on. Come on, Fabri-Tac. Just getting a little bit on each side there. All right. Now I am going to need some more of this, so let me get that out. I'm going to cut another strip about 1.5 inches, like I said. 1.5 inches here. Is that how much these were? What did I say? I forgot. Yeah, 1.5 inches. Okay, 1.5 inches. I'm going to start that and just tear it. Don't you guys love to tear stuff? I do. Just think it's fabulous. All right, we're going to cut some more here. Just going to make some more rectangles. Oh, and you know what would be really cool, you guys? Excuse me. If I use different fabric. Oh, I should have thought of that. Oh, well, I can't think of everything. Oh, man. Okay, so let's do the same thing on this side. Come on, Fabri-Tac. Let me get a little glob off the top there. So yes, I am back in my happy place here in my craft room, loving every day that I get to spend with you guys. Absolutely think it's just the bomb. It's the best. This looks cool. Oh, I love the contrast between the pale colors here, the collaging in the middle, and then this vibrant pattern. That's just so awesome. All right, now I am going to sew around each of these panels. If you don't have a sewing machine, just make sure these are securely glued down. Make sure they're stuck. See, then what we're going to do is we're going to fold those over. Now, if you notice, this one was a little bit smaller. So when you fold it over like that, it lines right up to the edge there. Oh, yay. Now, let me think about this here for a minute. Do I need these same little deals on the other side? I think so, because I think that looks really cool. So here I go, having to cut some more. Oh, I just need 2 more. Oh, where's my sheet? All right. See, this is as you go crafting, you guys. You know, I get an idea in my mind, and then you just kind of go with it. And if you need more, you need more. Oh, and by the way, I got this at Hobby Lobby. It's, I think it's a fabric that they have pretty much always in stock. Now this guy looks a little smaller, doesn't he? I don't know. All right, let's glue these down. Okay. Come on. Sometimes my Fabri-Tac gives me some fits. And I think one of the keys to making this, you guys, is just to be sure you have a little bit of space, teeny bit, right between your panels, because if not, they're going to abut against each other and it won't fold correctly, or it'll be hard to fold. I'll just say that. Okay, we're going to do these 2. And believe me, we are not done yet. Okay, so from here, let me think what we're going to do. Now, see, it could be either way. It could be this side, or excuse me, this way, or this way. Hold on, it's not working. Hold on. Oh, yeah, we're going to go the other way. Like this, and then like this. There it is. And the fabric does make it a little thicker right there on the edge. So you may have to, you know, push your fabric down a little bit just to get that crease. And that's where that little bit of space in between really, really is what you need. Okay. So from there, there is my book. Ha! But before I sew around the edges, let's add some additional embellishments. Now here's what I wanted to do, is I wanted to incorporate some more fabric. And I chose, as you guys know, Smush this down because these guys are getting crunched up here like that. I chose a bunch of different fabrics, and I want this gorgeous fabric to be on one of my panels. Now that's a little large. I cut it to the size of the panel, but it's a little big. But maybe not. Let's do this side. Yeah, we'll just go with that. Make it a little bit shorter here just because I want some of the wallpaper to show through. Oh, that looks really cool. Really cool. So we're going to tack that down on the edges. And granted, like I said, if you don't have a sewing machine, that's no problem at all. Just make sure it is securely glued down on all the edges. Now it's getting stuck to my fingers. There's one. Now I'm wondering, do I want to do the same thing on this side? I'm not sure. I think what I'm going to do on here is a piece of journaling page. So let me get some of my pages out here. I don't know what I have in my stash. I don't know what I have in my stash. So this is pages of, you know, pieces of paper that I thought I might use in this particular journal. No, that's not gonna, I want something that you can write on. Let's see. Just a regular piece of paper. Let's do that. Because just because it's plain does not mean it's not going to look good. Right? Right. All right, so I'm going to bring that down. And that looks fabulous, just like that. I'm going to distress the edges. And sometimes when I tear like this, when I'm not using a tear ruler, just kind of freehand, I think they look weird. So sometimes I, you know, go back and tear some more. It's whatever pleases you, right? So I'm just distressing the edge here with my Distress ink in walnut stain. All right. I'm going to stick that down. And for this, I am going to use my Scotch Create glue stick. Put it on another sheet so that I don't get everything all gluey. And I like to get a liberal amount, even in the center, because that way you have a less of a likelihood of getting some bubbles in the middle or some what am I trying to say here? So that it doesn't lay flat. Oh my gosh, my brain is not working. Hold on just a sec. Get my little wallpaper spreader out here. Smush that down. That looks so good. Okay, there's those sides. Flip it over on this side. What does this need? This needs some sort of pocket or something, I think. So I am going to grab some more of my papers. Let's see. I don't know. Here's where the don't think too much, Pam, just grab something comes in. What about some more of my wallpaper? Ooh. That looks really good. We're just going to go with it. Just tearing a piece of wallpaper here, guys. I'm going to distress the edge just because I don't like where I tore it and it gets white. It, you know, kind of the white shows through. And I'm going to make a little pocket there. But you know what? For some reason, sometimes I like distressed edges, or I mean, you know, jaggedy edges. And sometimes I like straight edges. I want this to be a straight edge. So where's my the top of this to be a straight edge. I'm going to cut that across. I don't know, I'm weird like that. Some things I like, you know, torn and uneven, and then other times I like it exactly across the top. I don't know. It's just one of those things. All right, so I am going to attach that on 3 sides because this is going to be a pocket. Right along the bottom there. So I've glued it here, here, and here. It goes right on there. Now you can really just go to town with this kind of stuff. You see what I mean? We could add some, a belly band. Oh, should we do that? Let's think about that here for a minute. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe I'm getting a little ahead of myself here. I don't know. Yeah, I think what I'm going to do, now that I think about it, well, with you guys here, is I'm going to stop the camera, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to sew all the way around each of the panels, and then I'll come back and we'll do some final embellishing on this. So hold on just a minute and I'll be right back. Okay, I have finished sewing around all my panels, and let me show you how it turned out. It looks totally awesome. Around each of the panels, I did a decorative stitch with gold thread, and here's how it looks. Now, what I do want to call your attention to is once you fold over your panels, however, which way you want to fold them, you may need to cut down one of the edges, and I did have to do that on this one, and just a little bit so that it would, you know, fold easy and not get caught up on the end. So don't worry if you have to do that. There's always a fix for that kind of stuff. And then what else I did is I did run through, and you know, some of the edges I tacked down a little better with some more glue, but we're not finished yet. So while I was sewing, I was thinking, well, what can we do with the offcuts? So I just cut the corners with the corner rounder, and I created 3 little tags. And what we're going to do with these tags is going to be really fun. So one thing leads to another, and that's what I love so much about junk journaling and creating things. Is I didn't know I was going to have 3 tags left over from this master board that we cut up, right? But yay. So what we're going to do is, let me show you how I'm thinking about using this in my journal. So like I said, this is one of the signatures. It's this folio folder is going to go on the exterior of one of the signatures, and it's going to be attached right there to my signature, and this is going to be a fold out. Now, if you didn't want to do that, you could just use this as a journal insert, tie a ribbon around there, and maybe even attach some pages right here, which would be very cool, kind of a waterfall type of page for some additional journaling. You could add all sorts of stuff to this. This is so awesome. So from here, what I think I'm going to do, since it is going to be the cover, or I shouldn't say the cover, although this could be a cover, the exterior of one of my signatures, is I did want to add some additional things to this. So here's how it's going to look in my book, in my junk journal. So I thought, what can I do with this? Well, that's where these tags come in. And I am going to use one of the tags, and I think I'm going to use this one. I just sewed around the edges like I said, and what I did do is I took my distress ink in black soot and I distressed the edges, because if you recall, one of my inspirations from this cute little apron deal is I like the contrast of the black border. And so I'm continuing with that throughout this journal. And that's one of the reasons why I did do the black border here. So that's just a thought. That's just what I did here. So let me move this out of the way. And we are going to attach this as a little fold out. Now, granted, I gotta say, I could have done this before and sewed it in, and it wouldn't have folded out, but it would have been a tuck spot. So there's an idea too. You know, there's so many things that you guys can do with these folios. It's so much fun. But I'm just going to make a little fold out here. So what I'm going to do is take masking tape. I really love masking tape. You could also use washi tape. You could just use a strip of paper, or like we did right here, some more fabric. But right now I am going to use masking tape. And what I like to do with my masking tape is kind of crunch it up, you know, and just to stress it a little bit on the edges. This is my walnut stain again. I like that. So I'm going to do that. And I'm going to tear this piece in half. And we're going to add it to the side of the folio. And another thing that I like to do, because like I said, even though this isn't that grungy of a journal, I do like the distressed look. I like the aged look. So I kind of crunch it up so that it's not totally flat. Let me show you. See? That looks cool. I think that looks fabulous. And then I'm going to do the same thing on this side and just kind of, you know, mess it up. And just stick it on there. And I have found that masking tape sticks really well. So there you have it. And I just kind of crunch it up again. So wow, instant fold out. How cool is that? And then distress the edges. And I did want to say that I am going to do that. I won't do that right now, but what I'm going to do is go around all of the edges. And there again, you could have done that before you attached it all together, but I didn't think of that. That's okay. That's okay. So from there, I thought, you know, I'm just going to create a little tag. So what I did is, like I said, sewed around the edges, added some lace to the top, and that just fits right in there. Oh, cuteness, cuteness. And another thing, like I said, when this goes in my journal, I like to have continuity, for lack of a better term, a cohesiveness to my journals, and that's just personal preference. I do like the eclectic look where you just do random pages throughout, but for me, bringing the whole journal together with some coordinating pieces, I really like. So with that being said, I thought that this tag would look great right behind my other postcards that I have already in this journal. And so that brings this page over into this page. Now, I think this needs some more. I think it needs some bling. So what I was thinking is doing that, or maybe some trim along the edge. Oh, I think that looks fabulous. I don't know what I'm gonna do. Maybe both. I don't know. I kind of like that. And this is some trim that I got in some Happy Mail, and it does have some glue on the back, but I don't really trust the glue to stick forever. And you know, I want my journals to last for a long time. So what I'm going to do is cut this strip off. And I'm going to add some glue to the back. Now it is pretty sticky, I gotta say, but I'm gonna do some extra insurance on this. And use my Fabri-Tac again and just do a little bit along the edge here. And can you guys see how how one thing leads to another and you just keep going and keep adding? I mean, I am probably gonna continue on embellishing this because you know me, more is more. And then on this side, I'm thinking this tag needs something too, right? Of course it does. Why would I think not? But who knows what? So here is a piece of the dress that I am also using in this journal right here. If you remember, I got that at a thrift store. And so I thought that would just be really pretty right along there. So we're going to put that down. And I did add a little bit of extra lace on the back of this one, and I'll show you why in a minute, because this dress that I'm using is kind of, I don't know what the word is, weird. I don't know why, I think it is. And I'll show you why. Let me get an end here. So the top layer is what drew me in, just this gorgeous lace. But when it's on its own without the lining, it looks really brown. And it's almost too brown for my liking for this journal. So I like something a little lighter underneath. It kind of makes it, the purple stand out, and the brown tulle that they're using, or the tan, doesn't show up as much, and that's what I like. So we're gonna do that there. And then this little extra strip, whoops, got a lot of stuff going on here. This little extra strip, I thought just add a little, where was I gonna put this? I don't know, a little belly band somewhere, like right across there. I think that looks just awesome. I'm gonna tear that off. And like I said, yeah, if I thought of it, I would have sewn this all in before, but that's okay, I didn't. And it doesn't really matter, Pam. So we're gonna do a little belly band, maybe a lower one, so you can still have some journaling space on, along the top there. So I just glued the two sides together, and I love that, love how that looks. What else can we add to this, you guys? We still have a little strip. Let's see. Oh, okay, let's do that. Just using all parts, right? Do I like it at the bottom, or I like it there? I think I like it there, and I'll show you why in a second. I'm going to, let me see. I don't know if I'm going to use this as a pocket or, a little tuck or not. So I'm going to leave my options open by just gluing the two sides like that. And of course, you know me, Bling City embellishments. Look at this trim. Love that. We're going to put that right over the top. I'm going to glue that down with my Fabri-Tac, and I'm going to make that pretty secure. Oh, that looks so good. Oh, wow. Oh, man. All right, and then from here, look, you have a little spot here to tuck something. Just love that. The little fold here. Oh, and one other thing I wanted to show you guys, just so that you can tell that this is going to be a fold out, I am going to do a little half circle punch on this. And I gotta see what I'm doing here, because sometimes I punch too much and it looks weird. So I'm gonna eyeball it. Just punch right there. and distress the edge. Oh, so cute. See? Stop that. So there you have it. Yay! So thank you so much for being with me. This is absolutely so much fun. I can't even say. So here is my 3-page hinged journal. And this can be, like I said, an insert or a cover or, you know, whatever, a standalone journal. There you have it. Isn't that fun? So I encourage you guys to get out and make one of these. And thank you so much for watching. And I appreciate every single one of you. I can't say that enough. And in the next video, we're going to continue on. And I'm going to think of some ideas for using my fabric and this cute little apron. So with that being said, thanks for watching. And I'll see you soon in my next video. Bye.